Hey guys, Brandon from the Manga guys here, and it is currently 2:25 in the morning. Yep. So sorry for the no One Piece review and the late review today. I have been so busy with Thanksgiving weekend and schoolwork. That's why I'm making this video at 2:25 in the fucking morning. I was doing papers and questions and just a whole bunch of shit. College is tough. But anyway, time for One Punch Man. One Punch! Sorry for being a little quiet because it is 2:25 in the morning, so it can't be too loud. The episode starts off with Genos fighting this Deep Sea King, and let me tell you, the animation for this episode, Madhouse, you put every other animation studio to shame. I'm looking at you, Toei. You have all this fucking money from One Piece, and I think they animated Dragon Ball Z. Why is your animation so shitty? Madhouse. They have a great track record. You only need to watch Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man to see how amazing their animation is. Beautiful. And another thing I liked about this episode, that has nothing to do with the episode, the opening. I did not like the opening when I first started this show. Now it's growing on me. Just the song and the visuals and everything. I don't know why, I just love it a lot more now. So anyway, amongst the beautifully animated fight scene, Genos gets a couple clean hits off on the Sea King, which he's the first one to do, but then he rips his arm off, and those two go at it for a while. And something I noticed in this episode, Genos uses this move called Lightning Eyes, which is clearly Solar Flare. Tien, Solar Flare! It has the same effect, it blinds the Sea King, but he says Lightning Eyes, and then right after that he says Machine Gun Blows. So he's actually naming his attacks, like pretty much like any other shonen character. And Saitama did do this one other time in a previous episode. He said consecutive normal punches. So I think it's kind of cool that they're starting to name their attacks like regular shonen, but I hope they don't do everything that regular shonens do, because their show is a little different, and that's what I like about it. So Genos and the Sea King are kind of even, but then this little girl who very nicely calls to the Genos that he can do it, then the Sea King goes, and as soon as he spit it, I knew it was some kind of poison or acid or something, and it was acid, and the little girl was about to get hit. Genos just Jesus Christ, right in front of her. And then he gives her this look, and if that was me, that would have scarred me for life. Like, this show has some disturbing imagery with like the monsters and like the gruesomeness that it has, but she just sees Genos like starting to melt, and he has no arms. It's basically just him and his like skeleton, and I feel so bad for him. He's gotten beaten and bruised so much, and it's only episode fucking 9. I feel for you, Genos. Just as Genos is about to be defeated by the Deep Sea King, we have Cyclist Crash of Justice come in, Mumen Rider, and he is no match at all for the Deep Sea King. We obviously knew that, he obviously knows that, but it's the fact that he tried that matters. He attacks him, and he just grabs him. It was hilarious. And when he does that, right after the Sea King does that, this was fucking gold. He turns around to Genos and says, "Oh, my bad, I almost forgot to kill you." That little gesture and the expression just made the whole scene that much more amazing in my book. I don't know why, it's just that, "Oh, my apologies, I forgot to kill you." It was just so perfect. So then after that, Mumen Rider gets thrown aside, then he gets up and tackles him again. And the Deep Sea King transforms back into his powerful form, because I guess when he was inside, because it wasn't raining, like he turned back into his less powerful form, which is still really powerful. And then he changed back into his more powerful form outside, and I like that they didn't like emphasize it like they would in like any other anime. They would have been like, "Oh no, he's transforming back into a super powerful self, what are we gonna do now?" In this anime, they just do it in passing and don't even mention it, and I love that because that makes it feel more realistic. We then get this awesome speech from Rider saying that he knows he's C-class, he knows he's not the best, he knows that he's not going to be the person that people think of when they think of an unbeatable man, but he says something that's very key. He goes, "I know I'm not the strongest, but what really matters is that I'm right here, right now to take you on." And that, I feel like, is the definition of a true hero. Someone who stands up despite all his instincts, despite all the odds being against him, telling him to leave, that he goes forward and faces death for the sake of the public good. I feel like that is the true definition of a hero. And the animation for that scene where he's squirming on the ground, bleeding, it was great. It kind of reminded me of the scene from One Piece. Spoilers for One Piece, when they were on Shibuya Archipelago and all of Louis' crewmates got boing, boing, boing by Kuma away, and he's just on the ground, like, having a little fit. The way he moved, the animation kind of reminded me of that, but the animation in this show was so much better than One Piece. The blood and everything, and when he, like, screamed, like, the hash marks on him looked great. And then right after that, you see the scene of they flash to a scene of the people. Now, I might be looking too much into this. I'm like a communications and TV major, so like I kind of look into these things a lot. But then after you have that like epically drawn Mumen Rider, then it shows the people, and they look so natural and normal. And I feel like the animators did that because obviously there's a change in style to show that the more anime and the more fictional people have more detail drawn into them, obviously because of the main characters, but also I feel like they went out of their way to make the citizens look normal. Like, not even anime-ish, they look like normal people. They tried to give them normal features, like normal eyes, no big anime eyes. They tried to like make a distinguish between these are the normal people, they look real. These are the heroes, they look fictional. And I kind of like how they did that. It was a nice touch. So after his speech, all the people start cheering for Mumen Rider. They have a mob mentality like they did a couple episodes ago, and he gives this little smirk, like that's what he wanted. He wanted them to start cheering, and it gave him like an extra boost in a sense, because after that you see him like start to Dragon Ball Z power up, and then he goes, ah! It looks like he's about to one punch this dude. Boom. Father dies. All the happy music goes away. The soundtrack is amazing for this, by the way. And like reality just, but if they had some hope, they were all like cheering. If they all cheered together, they thought they'd make him stronger, like some kind of bullshit fairy tale power up. But no, this is reality. But he does, before he hits the ground, he gets saved by our Lord and Savior, Mr. One Punch himself, Saitama. Now, when Saitama catches him, he does something very interesting. He says, he says, good job, nice fight. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and this might be different for you manga readers, because obviously the manga is going to have some differences from the anime. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time Saitama has congratulated someone. Like, he actually gave him credit. He said, nice fight. And I don't know, it just stuck out to me. It's because he hadn't done anything like that, so I feel like it was just so different from his character that we've come to know. Mr. doesn't really care about much. Oh, is that it? Is that all? Like, doesn't really care about much besides, like, food or something. I don't know, I liked it, though. Saitama says to Genos, hold on one second, I just need to beat this fish freak or whatever. And he goes, I heard that. Boom, punches his head. The rain in, like, a certain radius around them stops completely. Like, it was raining, it just stopped because of the force of the Sea King's punch. Like, the shockwave, boom. Rain was gone. But of course Saitama doesn't flinch. And then the Sea King starts talking, and then you start seeing the rain fall down again. Now I know this doesn't sound important, but it is. So then he goes, oh, ho, 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 you took one of my punches, that's very impressive. So then he goes on about being the evolutionary pinnacle of the pyramid. And then Saitama goes, whatever. And then he goes in for another punch, and Saitama just boom. Then he did like, he just went, looks like he just flicked his wrist. Boom. And his punch, huge shockwave like the Sea King's time 1 million. The rain, not in the radius, the rain stopped. It was done. Poof. No more rain. Clouds went away. Sunshine. Because of his fucking punch. Not trying to start anything, but never seen Goku do anything like that. Huh? Sea King's crown falls off. His eyeballs fall out of his head but are still attached to his skull, which is just gruesome. And he falls down and starts bleeding blood. Everyone starts screaming. You see Genos smiling, and Saitama's like, oh, is that it? I had my hopes up. So, classic Saitama. I still feel like that's going to come into play, like his desire to fight someone really strong. And he's just going to get so bored that he might just go out of his way to find some fight or something. But anyway, it then cuts to Sonic with a weapon who's ready to fight. Like, he didn't just run away to run away. He ran away to get a weapon, get some clothes on, got a sword, he's ready to fight. Sorry though, Sonic, I don't think you could have done much, because I see Sonic on the same level as Genos. And Genos was holding his own until he got fucked by that little girl. So, maybe he could have done something, but Saitama, man. Saitama. I really hope they do future episodes where where Genos can have some time to shine, more than like a quarter of an episode before Saitama comes. Or maybe even have Genos defeat a bad guy. What? Maybe. Just wishful thinking. Just putting that out there for you, Madhouse. Like you're watching this video. So everyone's cheering for Saitama, yay, one punch. Then this sack of shit starts saying, or maybe the monster wasn't that strong. And I'm really surprised that people believe this, because they saw this terrifying creature up close in all his ugly glory, and they saw Genos, a S-class hero, get himself ripped apart by this thing. And I don't know what this guy's problem is, if someone paid him to say this, or he's just, I don't know, he gets pleasure out of taking away from other people or something. But he says, those other heroes who got beat by this monster were just weaklings too. If it only took a Class C hero to one punch this thing, obviously the creature wasn't that strong. And then he says something as audacity, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. He had the audacity to say that all the heroes who stalled for time didn't do anything heroic at all. Anyone can stall for time. Heroes are supposed to be able to beat monsters. Fuck you. Anyone can stall for time. Get your ass out there and stall for time next time there's a demon level threat or above. You know, you probably couldn't even handle fucking paper cut, you bitch ass. Sorry. It's just this guy, he's fucking dick. Like, this is the type of guy who got bullied in school, so he became a bully himself. He's just a sad human being. After this guy stops talking, Saitama does something that just threw me way off. He kind of confirms what this guy's saying in a sense. Not totally, but he says that all these other heroes wore this monster down, so it made beating him super easy. Beating him was super easy for him, but not because the heroes wore him down, because he's a fucking monster. He's a fucking god. And then he goes on to say, good thing I got here late so all the other heroes, so I could take all the other heroes credit for their work. And then he says, oh, make sure you guys take care of these heroes so they don't die on me so I can't cash in on their work. So he's just saying stuff to make him seem like a scumbag, and I don't know if he wants the people to hate him, but that's the kind of vibe like we're getting from him this episode. Just a man of mystery. I thought I had him figured out, but not anymore. He's clearly a deeper character that has his moments. He's not just a punching machine. Bam, bam, bam. He's got character, and it's a very interesting one at that, and I like it. He's definitely not your typical shonen, if you can call this series a shonen, hero. It then goes to Genos and Saitama opening some fan mail. Saitama gets a hate mail, probably from that loser guy, and then he also gets a thank you letter that just says thanks. And later in the episode, we find out that it was from Mumen Rider, but I had a feeling it was from him right away. Genos gets some creepy fan mail from fangirls who's saying, oh, they've been his fan from the beginning, and it's pretty funny. Genos is definitely the ladies' man of the two. But Saitama also has a letter from the organization saying he's moved up to rank 1 of C-Class. And then he gets called into the organization building because apparently whoever is the top of C-Class has the option just because to move up to B-Class. And Saitama accepts the offer because he doesn't want to do weekly quotas, which then again fits his personality like he seems, so it makes me think I know a lot about him. Then he does something like demeaning himself, which throws me for a loop. Saitama is a very complex character. But so he takes the offer, so now he's rank, I think 180 or 100. of B, the very bottom of B class. You know, that doesn't mean anything to him. He could probably be ranked 2 or 1 on S class. I don't want to say number 1 because I feel like there's some OP motherfucker out there, and it might be that Tornado Girl, might be someone we haven't even seen yet. But I just got a feeling. So he could definitely be S ranked without a doubt. We just don't know if it's number 1 yet. Then it goes to Ame Mask Guy, and is this an animation error? Because last episode he had a haircut, and this episode his hair grew back, and the episodes take place in the same day, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if that was an animation error or if the guy in the manga did it like that, but it just kind of, was that supposed to happen? I'm not really sure. But anyway, Ame Mask has this guy from the organization who's the one who like phones all the heroes. The guy who works in the organization informs Ame Mask of Saitama's promotion to Class B. Why is he telling Mr. Ame Mask this? Like, what is so? There's definitely something really fishy going on with him. To have a member of the organization personally telling him this information, like he's some kind of celebrity. He is a celebrity, but why is he so important? He's only ranked A. He is number 1 of rank of A class, but there has to be more to it. He has to have some kind of royalty or some kind of pull on the organization to have them personally giving him information. There's just something fishy going on with him. Then we cut to a flashback of when Mumen Rider and Saitama were going to the Sea King. That Mumen Rider was giving him a ride, and they were like talking about, oh, what are you, S rank? No, I'm C rank. And he goes, laugh if you want to. And then Saitama just says, I'm not laughing. And I know I keep bringing up One Piece. That reminded me of Bellamy in this, spoiler again, in the Dressrosa arc, saying to Mugiwara, I'm not going to laugh at you anymore. They're not related at all, but it just popped in my mind, so I thought I'd share with you guys. But they have a nice exchange, and I have a feeling these two are going to be friends in the future. And the ending scene also confirms this, because Saitama goes to some kind of ramen shop. I don't really know Japanese cuisine a lot. I think it's ramen. He calls it udon. He gets noodles. He meets Mumen Rider without his costume on, so he doesn't recognize him at first, the idiot. Then again, there he goes again. Sometimes cliche shonen tropes, sometimes not, which is Saitama. But he doesn't recognize him right away. He realizes it eventually, and he still has sunglasses. He doesn't have his goggles on, but he still has some glasses on, so I'm guessing Mumen Rider is going to be like a Kakashi or like a Sanji, where you never see their full face, or like a Doflamingo where the eyes are always hidden. Which is, those kind of characters always bug me. I don't know why, I just want to see their fucking face. I want to see it. It's just a little annoying. But they have an exchange, and they say they're going to be friends, and what happens? He buys him a bowl of some kind of ramen or something, and then it ends there. So it was a good episode. Definitely love it because of One Punch Man. Not just being biased, it was definitely a great episode. Animation, music, character development, everything was great. Can't wait to see it next week. We'll be on time then. Bye guys.